She's a winner.
And welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, where you take enlightened entrepreneurs, coaches, and influencers together to discuss cutting-edge topics in the world of relationships, culture, business, and spirituality. And here's your host, Miss Carol Boston.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, where we say if you have a little bit of intuition. No, we don't always say that, right? Because even though we all have intuition, we're not all always capable of tapping into it. And so one of the things I've been learning through having this show is how to do a better job of trusting and tapping into my own intuition. Now, those of you who follow me know I'm your weather girl, and it is a gorgeous, albeit a little bit cloudy off and on day today here in sunny Fort Lauderdale. It's been incredible. We got up to 88 degrees last week. It was cray hot for this time of year. And then a couple of mornings ago, we were down in the 60s and it was beautiful. So I'm going to be watching the comments today. Make sure you give StreamYard permission so we can see who you are. And let's have a dialogue. So when you join us, make sure that you put in where you're chiming in from and what the weather's like where you are. I'm excited today. We're going to have a guest. He's actually been on this show once before. And he's actually, in many ways, been instrumental in creating this show. And it's that time of year. We're coming up to the end of the March, end of first quarter, and we get to look at where are we? Where are we in our lives? Where are we in our health, in our relationship, in our business? The first quarter's almost gone. Can you believe it? I mean, this is the last week. April 1st is coming and ain't going to be no April Fools, right? If we're super far behind on where we want to go. Now, one of the things that I know, and I talk to my clients about, we all set goals, right? Put it in the comments. You're not alone, Carol. We all set goals. Here's the thing. We don't own those goals. And my guest, we're going to talk a little bit about this. He doesn't know it yet. But we don't own those goals. Those goals are outside of us. What we own is our intention that we set every day. And one of the things I'm really good about is setting intention when I'm doing empowering questions. However, when I look at other areas of my life or my business, my intention is not always so clear and concrete. And we all know that clarity is power. So we're going to work on getting some clarity from Jeff on that today. So if you would, please welcome my guest today, Jeff Purdue Atkins from True Awesome Life. Hello, Jeff.
Hi, everyone. Oh, my goodness. It's so nice to be here today. I was like, Carol says, hey, you want to be on the show? And I'm like, oh, my goodness. It's been such a long time since I've hung out and just like came on and said hi. Hi.
Hi, Jeff. Oh, I love your energy. It's so good to see you. And I was thinking about you. I saw something that you did. I don't remember early this morning if it was on Facebook or maybe it was TikTok. And it was something, correct me if I'm wrong, but how do you find your peace or where do you find your peace? Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Was that this morning?
I did a video. That was this morning. That's this morning's video. Yay. So I have a commitment to myself. Let me back up. 2 weeks ago, I was at the Movement Maker Live event in Nashville, and it was world changing. And one of the reasons I was so world changing is because it was literally a way for me to gauge growth that I didn't realize I had. Now, how many are you are like me? You're growing, and you don't realize it. And then all of a sudden something hits and you're like, whoa, that was Movement Maker for me. It was so freaking phenomenal. And what I got to see is how I show up, right? I get to show up, and I showed up completely differently at this Movement Maker than I did 2 years before.
How
and
so?
I was out. So I laughed because I'm a gay boy. I came out when I was 18, and coming out is always in stages, and you're always coming out and all that kind of stuff. So, but the last time I was at Movement Maker, the first time I went to Movement Maker, I was super quiet. I barely knew anyone. I was uncomfortable as all get out. I barely talked to anybody. I walked into the dance event. I like to dance. I can boogie. I like the nightlife. I walked into this dance event that was a networking, dance, kind of have fun party kind of thing, and was there for 10 minutes and left
Oh
because I was
no.
so uncomfortable, right?
Now I'm going to jump in here
This
real
year,
quick. I'm going to jump in real
yeah,
quick because I do want to hear. But you and I've talked in the past about your uncomfortableness with networking, live networking. Is this similar to what you were
mhm,
experiencing?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And this was so, Carol would have been so proud of me. We've worked on this on so many different levels. And I've worked on this. It is something that I actively work on because my first instinct is I hate networking.
Mm.
That's my first message to myself that I have to get over, right? And I walked in that room this time completely myself, out out here, not even in my body,
Mm.
talking to people, making amazing connections with people in ways that it just hasn't been happening in the past. So what was great though, what was the real great thing is the takeaway was I've been really nervous about doing video lately. And
Hmm.
that's people who know me would say, "Oh my god, I can't even imagine that." But if you look at my timeline, I haven't been doing video pretty much this whole year,
Mm.
and I realized that it's because I had some things that I didn't want to. I feel um, not necessarily ashamed is the wrong word, but there's things that's going on that it's like how many times can I say the same thing over and over and over again,
Mm.
right? And what Nashville taught me was that I have a message that I need to talk to people about. And I have a point of view that it really does help people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to be out there. And then I had another person remind me, I write books. I've written books. Like I have books on topics. I do. I really do. I have books. I've written them. They're real. As a matter of fact, my new ones should come in today. Um, so it's like, where are you not showing up as you? Where are you not showing up in your full self? Where are you
Mm.
not showing up as that? And literally, as I was talking to one of my mentors and saying that I need to show up more and taking on a speaking engagement in November, that's going to be friggin' phenomenal. Um,
Congratulations. And
that
may I jump in
I'm
real quick?
yeah,
I'm the queen of reframe, and I'm all about languaging, right? And that we create as we speak. So I would like to
yes,
encourage you that you don't need to do any of that, but you get to. You get to. So
I
you are a very powerful individual, and I want you and your languaging to come from that place of power so that you own that power. So you get to instead of I need to. So go from there.
the problem with that, and I hear you, and we've talked about this on so many different levels of this, but some of the things that keep me back
Mm-hmm.
is the choice because there's so many options, there's so many things, and there's so many things that are on the menu. So if this was a tarot card, it'd be the seven of I want to say wands. Now I'm it's cups. Seven of cups.
And
Like
I
ooh,
don't know what that means.
right. So it's all these things. You have all these options out in front of you,
Okay.
right? And it's narrowing everything down.
Mm.
It's one of the hardest parts about life right now for me personally, and I know for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's narrowing down all the different options and is what's going to serve you the best. So a way I could say that is that what would serve me is
Mm.
being on video better, being
Cool.
on video more, and what would serve me, but it really is a need at this point for me. Um, if I don't, I'm going to stay in the stagnant place that I'm in.
Mm.
So in order for me to get where I want, I get to do certain things. And this is one of those things is being on video more, actually being live, actually talking about what I do and how it helps you, and how it helps people in general. and really just trying to be the inspiration that I try to be on a day-to-day
But
basis.
don't you get to give the same message over and over and over, because you have new people in your audience all the time, and even some of the older people, or not older in age, but they've been in your audience for a while, they're not where you're at, right? So we learn by repetition. So earlier when you said, how many times can I say the same thing? Can you say it too many times if there's new people that you get to bring into your audience all the time?
And this is one of the things that I got to overcome
Oh,
this
good.
weekend,
Cool.
right? Is that people didn't know who I was. I had somebody that follows me that didn't know that I wrote a book. I'm like, I've written 3. There's a novel out there. It's Sex, Drugs, and Vampires. If you guys want to pick it up, it's called The Awakening. It's funny as all get out. There's all kinds of trigger warnings. Someone gets just leave your snowflake at home if you're gonna read that one. Every trigger that you could possibly have is in that book, from rape and drugs and sex and gay sex and straight sex, and yeah, it's crazy. I also have the Unleash Your Authentic Self, and now this one came about because I was going to do a workshop, and my notes were so amazing. One of those times when I was trying to make the workshop perfect, and so my notes ended up being like 40 pages of notes for this workshop. And I realized that at that point, I just might as well publish a book. And so I finished it as a book. And so it has actionable things in it to make you think and make you question what your beliefs are in all these areas, like yourself, relationships, spirituality, things that many people shy away from or just go into default. See, one of the things that I work on really hard is getting people out of their default. Life is not lived in default.
So I'm going to jump in. I have another friend who's also, she's a different type of coach. She's into she does theta healing and energy and everything. And oftentimes I will hear her say, whether it's somebody, oh, Max and Janetta Jones in the house. Hello, Max. Glad you're here, Max.
Hi, Max.
It's, let's say it's in a group session. She does a lot of group work, right? And somebody will say, this is my challenge, or so she talks them through it. But she says, oftentimes, according to who, according to what?
Yeah.
And it makes me think about, that's kind of a little bit about what you do when you're always challenging. Where did that come from? Right?
Where'd that come from? So it's funny because yesterday, you brought up today's video. Yesterday's video was actually a quiz. And let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, find it. I missed it. I didn't see yesterday's video. I know Max and Janetta Jones was in Nashville with you, though.
Max was in Nashville, and she got to see firsthand that outfit. And I will tell you, if you guys haven't seen that outfit, go look at my videos. There, especially my TikTok actually shows you me walking through the Gaylord Hotel in Nashville. Okay, so one of the coolest things that happened is we were at the Gaylord, obviously, and it's in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee. It's very conservative. The Grand Ole Opry is right behind it. Half the hotel is country music stuff, and it's how I grew up. It's what I grew up, all the things I grew up with. So it's not like I'm uncomfortable in this space at all. But one of the things that came up was I wore these pink stripper shorts with this shirt, a cowl neck shirt that was cut down to like my navel, so that I can put glow tattoos all over my body for a glow party. So the event that I was only at for 10 minutes the first year, this is how I showed up for the next one.
And you closed it down. I assume you stayed there the whole time?
The whole time. Closed it down. Went to the bar afterwards with all of my friends. Like, and I'm in the Gaylord. Okay, so getting this outfit, getting in the outfit, and doing the whole thing, no problem. Took a couple pictures. I'm like, okay, this is crazy but cute, right? Then I got in the hallway, and our room was on the exact opposite end of the hotel from the conference
And
center.
for people who don't know, it's massive.
It's like a mile long.
Yeah.
This hotel is huge. There's 5 atriums.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing, beautiful. There's buildings inside the buildings, and I had to walk through this hotel in the middle of like the South, like the South, like in this outfit that I don't know I would walk down the street in, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was there for a specific purpose. It's not something I'm gonna wear out. I'm not going grocery shopping in this outfit. I mean, it's obviously, I had silver boxers on because the pink shorts were see-through. And I wanted something glittery underneath these shorts. They're stripper shorts, right? And I walked through and I did a video, and it's on my TikTok of me talking about walking through this. And it was such an experience. And the funny thing is, I really didn't think about it until I got in the hallway. How many times do you go and you're all excited about it? You're going, and you're going, and then you get in that hallway.
Yep.
And start telling yourself, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I can't believe I'm walking down." And in the video, you can see I'm like, I don't believe this. I'm doing this. It's crazy. Had an amazing time. Did it? Obviously, I did. And what was on the other side of that fear of walking through that hallway? I almost went and grabbed a pair of sweats to throw over the shorts because that would have worked. I wouldn't have had been as exposed walking through, although the shirt was enough, and I had glow in the dark tattoos all over my head. So I probably still have one little bit right here at the top. But
so
how
it
many
was
times
liberating.
do you do that? Definitely liberating, and definitely how much is on the other side of that.
For everyone.
I won the contest, by the way. For everyone, I won the contest. By the way, it was never announced, but I did. It's okay. I won other awards that week, but I won. And I had somebody. So after that, we went downstairs to the bar, and there's like 13 bars and like 20 restaurants in this hotel. Like, if you haven't been there, it's massive, it's beautiful, it's great. And then we're in the
And if you haven't
one
been there
hotel.
at Christmas, wait. Have you ever been there at Christmas?
I was not there at Christmas. I was there in March, and then middle of summer one time.
Christmas.
When I was a kid.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I bet. I can't even imagine. It would be like a mall on steroids.
Oh, yeah. They start decorating, I think, the first week of October. It takes them that long to get everything up.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. The place was massive. But downstairs, I was there, and I'm in the outfit, and this woman came over that's in our group and was at our conference, which I found out two of my friends, our friends, were in the same hotel in the room next to us. Literally, we knew that they were there. I just didn't know who they were. Had I known they were there, and I didn't see the message that they were there, or I would have like hunted them down.
I know.
We were right there.
I sent you that message. They would have loved.
Yeah.
They would have loved to have met you in person.
We would have had a great time.
Yeah.
And so downstairs, though, we were me and Jennifer were sitting there. We were singing a little bit. We're both singers, and we were having a good time and had a beer, and just a nice time with friends. And her husband wouldn't come over to the table because of what I was wearing. So
he was that uncomfortable.
He was that uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not for everybody, and we're not for everybody.
Mm-mm.
And when we start realizing that we're not for everybody and start finding our tribe, to find the people that we do resonate with, the world opens up.
Mm-hmm.
World opens up.
But how often, especially, I know I was challenged with this a few years ago in trying to find my niche, right? We wanted to be all things to all people. Well, what if I leave somebody out? If I leave somebody out, they're not your people.
And they wouldn't work with you anyways. Someone asked me the other day, why would someone go with you instead of Trent Sheldon? Trent Sheldon was there. He's amazing,
Mm-hmm.
inspiring, wonderful. Really is. Right? He grew up African American, obviously. He's a black man. Okay. And, he's a jock. He's a football player. He was a frat boy. Okay. Amazing heart, amazing human. I love him to death, but it's not like his energy is not the same as mine.
Oh, not at all.
And,
Completely
and
different.
it's not going to be the same as mine. And even if we said I could say the exact same thing as he said, and it would resonate differently with you than it would with someone from his audience. Our people are our people.
He talks a lot and posts a lot about peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I see different in what he does and what you do, this is for me, this is my experience, is that you show up as peace. I think I've shared that with you before, that I think you have an amazing way to non-judgmentally hold the space for other people to show up as who they are and be at peace with that.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
That's why I said it is.
I love that about you. And the people who thrive on that are the people that are going to be drawn to you. There are some people listen, Tony Robbins is amazing. We all know that. He's not my guy. You will not see me in a Tony Robbins audience going berserk, jumping up and down, going, it's just not me.
And I have done his priming exercises for months. Like I nothing that Tony Robbins says is bad. It just doesn't it doesn't resonate with me, and when I put it in action, his tactics don't necessarily
work for you.
Resonate. Work and resonate. And my tactics wouldn't resonate with him either.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right. It's the cool thing about being individual and accepting your individuality.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually found that quiz. So
okay.
One of the chapters in Unleashing Your Authentic Self talks about relationships and your beliefs around relationships.
Okay.
Right. And I want you guys to know there's nothing wrong here. This quiz is literally designed for you just to think about it and define it for yourself, because we act on automatic all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Savannah, hi baby, how are you, gorgeous? Oh my God, if you don't know her,
Siobhan
she's such an amazing.
Exactly, out of Canada. Well, hello there. Glad to have you, Siobhan.
So the first question is a true or false, right? Monogamy is the only valid form of committed relationship. So I started off really heavy, right? So, and again, this is for you. Don't have to answer out loud. Don't have to put it in there. But just start thinking, is that the only way that I believe that there's nothing wrong either way of it, right? That's what you believe.
Well, yeah, for me, that's what works. That doesn't mean it's the only thing possible. It's what works for me.
Right. It's what works for you. And there's nothing, again, there is nothing wrong with monogamy. I was in a monogamous relationship for 7 years. It was beautiful. It's the reason I won't do another one, but it was beautiful.
Okay, we don't have time for all those details. Go ahead.
Yeah. So number 2 is, which of the following best describes consent? Consent. It's only necessary for sexual encounters. Should be obtained before engaging in any physical or emotional intimacy. It's not necessary within long-term relationships. Or it is a concept that varies based on societal norms.
It's a lot of options. I'm trying to think.
Right.
What was the third thing you said?
It is not necessary within long-term relationships.
I totally disagree with that. I think that consent is always important to have because people change, their boundaries change, right? And if you're not willing to ask for consent, then you basically trample on people's boundaries, and then you end up,
Right.
button heads. So,
Yeah.
give us another one.
When it comes to love and relationships, what should be the primary consideration? Society's expectations and norms, personal happiness and fulfillment, meeting the expectations of family and friends, or achieving societal milestones such as marriage, and children.
Mm.
You want to be
Go ahead. I was going
go,
to
please.
say one of the things that it took me several years after my first female relationship ended to understand in therapy why I found it so devastating, or how it was so devastating to me that it ended. And once we uncovered it in therapy, it was quite amazing. It was because of the way I was raised, Southern Bible Belt Christian. Apparently, in my mind, I had decided unconsciously that if I just had this one relationship, just one, and it was a
Mm-hmm.
lifelong relationship, then it would be okay for my family. It
Mm-hmm.
would be accepted, right? Because it would be monogamous and it would be just one, like being married for life, which is what they all espouse to and believe in everything. And
Yeah.
when it didn't happen, it was just devastating to me.
Yeah, because one of the reasons why gay men are sinners is because we're so promiscuous, right?
Everybody's a
I,
sinner.
I, I, I trust me. I grew up I grew up Southern Baptist. I totally get it, right? I get where the conversation goes. Trust me. I've heard all of it, right? And I understand. And this is why these are so important. It's because it makes you uncover. Okay, well, that's where I think. Okay, do I really think that?
And then I
Is
love
that
adding. Now that I hear you say that, I love adding. When you say, do I really think that? And you ask yourself that question, and then you can say, well, according to who and according to what?
yeah,
Because, we really get to create, not 100%, because there's rules we live by in society and things like that are necessary laws and that kind of thing. But we get to create the rules for our lives for us to live by in our belief systems.
yes. And it's so important. And last but not least is a true or false. Easy one, right?
Uh-huh.
It is essential to have an open and honest conversations about sex and sexuality to foster healthy relationships and self-understanding.
Oh, I think that's so completely true. I was raised in a household, Southern Methodist. My dad was Baptist, so close to how you were raised, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you never mentioned the word sex in the house. You didn't even say the word sex in a joke.
Yeah.
And so, and I know we can also talk about it in the context of adult intimate relationships, but if you can't even talk about it, what makes it taboo? According to who, according to what? And where does that uncomfortableness come in actually having the conversation? I think we're going to have you back, Jeff, because we try to keep our show at a tight 30 minutes, and we got about a
I
minute.
know.
So I want you
I know it.
we're right now scrolling across the bottom. We're going to find out more about you, but where can we send people to get your journal? And we can bring you back
Look,
next month and talk more about that as well.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Right now, it's time to pick up your awesome plan, guys. This is a 90-day um, exercise to actually have you achieve your dreams. It's scientifically designed for you to actually help your dopamine. It helps with depression. I am not a doctor, but I could tell you that when I started writing this, it was right after my nervous breakdown. And by the time I was done with this journal, I had tripled my income and was doing my dream job at the time. Okay. I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody like that, but I can promise you that you won't recognize yourself if you follow this journal. You will be in a different place.
And how
you
can
they check out my website? It's on Amazon. It's The Awesome Plan by J.P. Atkins. You can pick it up. It is the next quarter. It's time to start. If quarter one didn't work for you, quarter two, let's go.
Absolutely. Love that. Thank you so much for joining me, Jeff. Real quick, one of the ways I like to end my show is I have my guest and then I will do it myself. Leave our audience with one thought. If you could only give them one thought right now, what would it be?
You are perfect, whole, and complete just as you are.
A mantra that we could all put on our mirrors and our dashboards and our refrigerators and repeat every day, right? So that we get to remind ourselves. I love that.
Anything that just came up with that is something you and I need to talk about.
Yep. Cool. Reach out to Jeff for sure. For me, the last thought I'd leave you with today is trust in the process and take the next step. Easter's coming up this Sunday, and there's a song that keeps coming up for me on a Sirius XM channel called The Message. And it's one of the, I don't know all the words, but one of the chorus lines says, "It may feel like it's your Friday, but Sunday's coming." Sunday's coming. Next quarter's coming. Your best year of your life is coming. Get ready for it. Trust in the process. Take the next step. Go in peace. Be blessed. We always say, try to make one person that you don't know smile every day by giving them your smile. And come join us next week. We'll be right back here on the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show. Make it a great week, everybody. Go in peace.
You are loved.
Thank you for listening to the Intuitive Entrepreneur Show, brought to you by Life Coaching Today magazine, empowering your health, your business, your community, your life. Check out the latest issue today at lifecoachingtoday.com. Everyone here at the True Awesome Network asks you to please subscribe, like, comment, and spread awesome.